doesn't smile at customers. It's the Gen Z customer service stare. Hi, your total is... Did you put my sauce in the bag?
Oh, Gen Z just does the Gen Z stare. They don't know how to talk to people. Fair. A lot of Gen Z don't know how to talk to people. But a lot of older generations talk too much, too rudely, and too proudly while being too stupid. I cannot tell you. You have to work in the food industry to fully grasp how stupid people can be. I remember one day I was serving this customer. She's ordering a burger. She was like, okay, I want this cheeseburger with no cheese on it. My first red flag. Then she says, I want to have pepper jack on this burger. I look at her, I'm confused. I'm like, ma'am, you said you didn't want cheese on your burger? She says, yes. I said, ma'am, are you talking about like specific cheeses or like you just don't want any cheese on your burger? She says, yes. I said, ma'am, are you aware pepper jack is a type of cheese we offer? She looks at me and she scoffs like dumb. And she's like, clearly I'm not talking about the cheese then. Then what are you talking about? And I was like, okay, ma'am, we don't offer anything that's pepper jack except for our cheese. She said, put pepper jack on the burger. Y'all have done it before. I want the pepper jack that's not the cheese. And I'm like, I really don't know what this lady talking about. But I'm like, okay. So, ma'am, I'm putting the pepper jack that we offer on your burger. She says, yes. Are you deaf? That's what I just said. Okay. So her order comes out. I give it to her. She opens the burger. She says, what is cheese doing on my burger? I said, ma'am, you said to put pepper jack on your burger. But she asked me, are you dumb? I said, not the cheese. And like she starts going on this whole spiel. I clocked out immediately. I was like, let me go get my manager. She has this whole conversation with the manager, all upset, calling me all types of names. The manager pulls me to the side and said, oh, she was asking for fried jalapenos on her burger. I'm sorry. Is there a world that I'm not from where pepper jack is fried jalapenos? I've had a person get mad at me because their iced tea was too cold. I really don't know what these people want from me. Of course, I'm gonna just start staring at you. I'm gonna stare at you like you dumb. You're stupid because you are.
Look, I 1000% understand this Gen Z stare situation. Like 1000%. Because trust me, like, the job sucks, you know? Like, it sucks. First off, let's just say the Gen Z stare was always a thing. You guys need to coin the term with know something. So you target us to make yourselves feel better about it. But trust me, I've had so many stories of parents, sisters with horrifying customer service people giving the same old stare that you guys describe. But you just gotta listen for a second, right? I totally understand saying hi, how are you, what are you doing, small talk, the occasional smile on the face when things are going well, right? And of course, trying to have a smile on your face the entire conversation. But that smile is going to fade every single time when you ask, does insert cheeseburger here
have cheese on it?
It's questions like those that I told myself I'm never working in the food industry ever again. And I never have. Retail for life. I don't care how annoying retail gets. Retailer for life. I see people talking about like it's the gestures that, you know, some customers are doing, which is obvious. Yeah, if a customer is doing too much, then yeah, I can see why the Gen Z stare comes out. And it's just like, come on, dog. Like, yes, if you're screaming at me, if you're just interrupting me constantly,
Or if you're like, you're interrupting the process of which you have to order.
like if we still gotta discuss like what side of fries or mashed potatoes and whatnot, and you're already at the drink, and I physically can't process the drink yet until we get past the fries, oh yeah, I'm gonna be irritated. I know I'm talking about food industry, even though I said I'm never working food ever again. It's just that, I told you, I work in retail, I could care less. Like, literally, you can ask me any dumb question, you can get angry at me as much as possible. I'll happily just fold some clothes and box some shoes up all day. Or anything other than retail stuff. I'll happily do it. It's just like, yeah, I just don't get as angry in retail as I do with food. No, but you will get the Gen Z stare out of me in retail if you return $300 to $400 worth of items, right? That you just could have tried on in the dress rooms in the store. You feel me? Instead of just buying them using your daddy's card, using daddy's money, right? And buying all that stuff at home, and none of them fit, not one item fit. And now you're back in my line, and now you're backing up my line because you just didn't want to quickly try on just a couple things. At least the things that you really wanted, the things you were really interested in, right? Like, you didn't want to try that at all. No, you wanted to waste everyone's time. Now here I am processing items on items on items because you. Okay. You best believe I'm gonna stare at you just like this.
So the older generations on here talking about Gen Z got a Gen Z stare, you feel me? And I'ma say, hell yeah, we do, you feel me? We not y'all, bro. We don't come into these random minimum wage jobs trying to be employee of the year, bro. We here to collect our check and go home. I just woke up at 7 8 o'clock in the morning to go clock in for $10 an hour. And you think I'm here to start making small talk? No, bro, I'm here for my check and to go home. Like, imagine I'm bagging groceries at the grocery store. Why would I want to have a small conversation with every customer that comes into my fucking lane? Not only that, the older generation be coming in doing dumb shit, bro. Like, why you gonna insert your card? This shit gonna say, remove your card and just be beeping, beeping, beeping. And y'all just looking at the shit just beeping. Nigga, take the card out. How about take the card out? Or they gonna come into a restaurant or a fast food spot and start asking stupid questions. Does the cheeseburger have cheese on it? Nigga. Okay, so I got mild sauce and hot sauce. Which one do you want? Is the hot sauce spicy? Nigga. Excuse me, sir. I ordered a frozen lemonade. You gave me a slushie. Nigga.
Bruh, I just seen somebody coin the term Gen Z stare, and I'm so glad somebody gave it a term, because the way some people in our generation act, it's like we cracked the old generations talking about the lead paint stare, but a lot of y'all have that same exact vibe. Like the other day, right? I'm on the elevator, or I thought I was going on the elevator going down in my apartment. So I get on the elevator, and it's a guy in there, clearly going up. I press the button to go to the lower level. It's not working. And I feel like common sense would say that's the basic human interaction. Be like, hey, this one's going up. Just go about your day. Instead, he stares on me until I say out loud, I'm like, oh, it's going up. And he's like, yeah. Like, bro, keep in mind, this interaction was not like a long interaction. This is probably like 30 seconds at most. But it's like simple things like that. People in our generation act like it's so hard to communicate. Like, bro, or even like going to like a restaurant. Like, if you work in customer service, you already know, like, working in customer service, Gen Z customers, and I'm not trying to say this like as if I'm not Gen Z, I'm 22, act like they have half a brain, or maybe even a quarter of the brain. Like, the communication skills sometimes for basic interactions is not there. And it's like, don't get me wrong, you feel me? I was there during the pandemic. I was in high school. I was not in school. So I get it. It definitely harmed us socially. And I also struggle from social anxiety. So I get it. But basic interactions, you should be able to communicate like a human being. Like, it's not normal. It's not normal at all. It's not normal how people act like they can't talk. You're not mute. It's just really weird. Like, it's getting scary at this point.
So I just saw a video about Gen Z stare and about how generally Gen Z is worse at communicating than other generations have been. And I work in clinical research, and one of my clients just brought on 4 interns, and we have weekly meetings with them. And so in one of these weekly meetings, they bring the interns in, they say, go ahead, introduce yourself, radio silence. Not a single one of them says anything. They're just all blankly staring at the screen. And so she says, okay, why don't you tell us your name and what school you go to? We'll start there. And the first person is like, I'm Sarah. I go to Boston College. Just dead eyes. Immediately mutes. Second person, I'm Katie. I also go to Boston College. Immediately mutes. Third person, I'm Marie. Holy Cross. Not even a full sentence. And I don't know if it's me being, like, kind of caught off guard, because my mom trained me really well. She's, like, total boss babe. When I have a new team, I'm like, hi, I'm Gigi. I came from this company. Here's what my experiences in. I'm really excited to learn. I'm really excited to learn about you guys and learn about the study. Like, I don't know, maybe that could be considered, like, fluff, but, like, I feel like it's fluff that's important to the corporate world, right? And the fact that they all were just, like, so completely blank, they only said, like, 5 words, and again, I was wondering if maybe I'm being unreasonable in, like, expecting more conversation, but then, like, the fact that they had these, like, dead eyes while looking in the camera, and then the second after they introduced themselves, they turned their cameras off, even though everyone else still had their cameras on. It was like, hi, I'm Sarah, bye. And then, like, I was like, I am so worried for the future after that 15-second interaction with these people who are supposed to be having their first big girl jobs. It was crazy.
I work in fast food, so I know, like, if you don't work in fast food, you really don't understand how dumb people really are. I'm sorry to any of my customers or anybody that comes there, but some of y'all are fucking dumb. Some of y'all are rude as hell. Some of y'all just lack common knowledge. Like, I feel like if the information is right in front of you, why do I have to explain that to you? Me personally, if you see me doing that stare, I'm in my head, I'm like, are you fucking dumb? That's what's going on in my head. That's what's behind that stare. Are you fucking dumb? Or are you serious? Or there's no way.
I've seen a lot of people talk about the Gen Z stare and how people are saying, you know, Gen Z doesn't like smile or, you know, make small talk when they're working customer service. And all I gotta say is I feel like some people forget how entitled customers actually are. Like, I've worked these jobs before, and the amount of times that I would greet a customer and the first thing they say to me is something rude or demanding me something before I even finish saying hello. And I know other people can relate to stories like that because it happens on a daily basis. And I feel like these customers, in a way, think it's a one-way street to where they can act and say whatever they want, but we as an employee always have to act super nice and kind and all this stuff. And obviously it's not okay to be rude to customers, but I don't think there's a problem with not wanting to make small talk with everybody, you know, have a greeting, but then nothing after that. And if you want to talk more after that, I feel like that's fine. But for one, not everybody wants to make small talk, but also, like, it's not rude to not make small talk. And honestly, what I think it might be is that a lot of people feel like they're owed something by the employee. Like the employee owes them a conversation, or the employee owes them to act a certain way, and that's just not how it should be. Now, I agree, there needs to be a balance of, you know, an employee can't just be rude as fuck to you and ignore you, but also they don't have to be so over the top and, you know, talk your ear off.
Hi, ma'am. Do you want to pay on your bill? Yes, I want to pay on my bill. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have you swipe the card you want to use on the machine for me so we can go ahead and get that started. I don't want to pay on my bill. I want to make a return. Okay. Let me go ahead and get out of the screen. What are you returning? What are we doing? It's online. I have a receipt. Do the return, please. All right. Here's the return. You want to go ahead and you want to pay on your bill? No, I don't want to pay on my bill. I want to make a purchase. And whenever I make this purchase, I don't want my refund and my purchase to be on the same transaction. Okay, ma'am. I can just go ahead and do it all together for you. It won't take any money out. It'll all be the same thing all in the end so that I don't have to go back on this screen and start up this transaction again. No, I want to make a payment. You want to make a payment? I want to make a payment and then I'm going to pay and then I'm going to make a payment. Do you want to make one payment or two payments? I want to make a payment. Okay, one or two payments? One. Okay. So you're not going to allow me to put these on one purchase? No, I want to make a payment. All right. Let me close that out. Go ahead and swipe the card that you want to pay on for me, please. No, I told you I want to make a payment. I understand that. I need to have the card swiped so I can make a payment on that card. Why is your tap to pay not working? I'm putting it in and it's not working. Am I waiting on you? If you look, it's not in the right slot. It's actually under the card slot. I didn't even know there was a hole there. I'm just... Okay, how much do you want to pay? I want to pay the exact total here on my bill. Read it. Read it and tell me how much I need to pay. Ma'am, this bill is in Spanish. I'm gonna just need you to tell me the total.
The Gen Z stare is a product of lead in the vape. Really, because I'm 4 months late on rent, I have 2 jobs, working over 60 hours a week, going to school at the same time. And I'm fucking exhausted. I literally was able to get fucking 3 hours of sleep last night until I had to wake up at 4 to go to my job today at 5. I don't think it's the lead in the vapes or the fucking, we all got fucking Adderall brain. I think I'm just tired. I think I just want to go to fucking bed. Dude, I think I just want to have a peaceful night's slumber and not worry about my bills. My credit score is a 530 because my dad opened the credit card in my name because I can't pay my fucking bills on time. I have over $1,000 in medical debt because I got 1 EKG one time. I think I'm just staring. I think the Gen Z stare is just because I just want to go to bed, bro. And I'm so exhausted, but I'm gonna go in there and my house is gonna be a mess and it's gonna stress me out so bad that I'm gonna have to clean it. I'm just tired, man. Also, I quit vaping entirely.